West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast. West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast.
Listen, there has to come a point there has to come a point where this generational trauma has to come to an end. I have a 6-year-old daughter. She will never support the West Indies. Never. I'm not allowing it. The generational trauma comes to an end in my bloodline after I depart. After I depart this planet, the generational trauma comes to an end. I'm saving my daughter all the trauma. I will never speak West Indies name to her again. She will never catch me watching cricket again. Never. We can't talk on this stuff no more. You see, when I talk on West Indies cricket now, it's just for you lot who are watching this show. Whether you're watching this in the replay, whether you're watching this live right now, the generational trauma, all of you, I beg all of you who are watching now or on the repeat or whatever, don't put this on your kids. Don't. It's borderline child abuse. Don't put this on your youths. They don't need this in their life. They don't need this. Save them. Save the youths. Save the youths. And the thing is, after the Netherlands defeat, I said to myself, I've seen it all before, you know. I've seen everything. Like, there's nothing West Indies can do that can shame me. I've seen it all. That was after the Netherlands defeat. I said, that's it now. They've done the worst they can do. Then we had the T20, the ODI World Cup qualifiers in 2023. In addition to the Netherlands defeat, we had the Scotland defeat, Sri Lanka whooped us, Zimbabwe whooped us, Netherlands whooped us. I said, yeah, I've seen it all now. I said, I've seen it all. These men can't do nothing to me anymore. Let me tell you lot something, because people think I'm doing this for clickbait. People think I'm doing this for clickbait, and they'll say, oh, Mash, he's trying to over-egg it and so on and so forth. Let me put this one in perspective for you, man. Bangladesh have only beaten us in Test match cricket in the Caribbean. The only time they beat us before this was 2009, and that was that tour. Don't know if you look. Some of you are youth, so you may not even have really been following West Indies cricket at the time. But the last time Bangladesh beat us in the Caribbean, or only time, was when everybody, it was that cable and wireless thing, and loads of the players pulled out. Essentially 2 full strength West Indies teams worth of players pulled out due to the cable and wireless dispute and said, we're not playing, right? And West Indies had to cobble together effectively what was a C/D team. People like Omar Phillips, was it like Dane Richards, Floyd Reefer, a bagger man played in that test match against 2 test matches against Bangladesh, who never played for the West Indies again. After what was that guy's name? Travis Dowling, all of them, man. Don't know if any of you in this chat right now are old enough to remember that. I think Roach Jedi is right. Roach made his debut, one of the few good men to play in that test match series, yeah. But it was a C/D team, and Bangladesh whooped us, and deservedly so. So Bangladesh have won in the Caribbean before. It's not like this is the first time Bangladesh have won in the Caribbean. They've done it before. But we were able we were able to say, well, boy, you beat some dead team. You beat some dead team, so that don't count. You see this test match? They whooped us. Bangladesh came to our own ends. We weren't even comfortable in our own ends. In yard, you know, in my homeland, they whooped us. Beat us by over 100 runs in our own ends. Which begs the question to me, who can we beat? Who can we beat in a test match series? I'm not talking about one-off test matches. I'm talking about a test match series. Who can we beat? Because I always said to myself, Bangladesh might be the only team in test match cricket that we can definitely beat. Well, chalk off that one, people. I'm talking about at home. I'm not talking about away. I'm talking about at home. We've now got to a stage where we can't even beat Bangladesh at home. Obviously, we've got a hex over England, but, well, okay. Like, and the thing is, I'm not trying to be hyperbolic here. I'm actually not trying to be hyperbolic, but I hope the players are listening to this one. I hope administrators are listening to this one. I hope the coaching teams listen to this one. See, this is what I'm saying. So I was waiting for someone. So Sumit is saying the result is not really that bad. Bangladesh currently has a good bowling attack, and test matches come down to bowling after all. No, Sumit, it is that bad. It is that bad. Because it's sorry. So Sumit, let me explain to you why it is bad. It's not bad in isolation of a test match series. It's a drawn test match series. So I'm going to be balanced here. It's not bad in isolation in the context of a series. It's a drawn test match series. These things happen. So I agree with you on that front, Sumit. The reason why it's bad is the wider context of, so where are we at? Forget Bangladesh, forget them. Where are we at? And this is bigger than Andre Coley as a head coach or his backroom staff. I'm talking about the whole thing. When it comes to test match cricket, where are we at? Who are we? What players do we have? Like, some of you may remember after the South Africa series, and even away in the England series, that I kept saying Bangladesh is the series this year where the players that they've obviously invested in, this is their chance to show us if they truly belong at this level. But the question people have to ask themselves, see, I'm already seeing some madness in the comments. I'm going to come to it. The question people have to ask themselves is, what is acceptable to you lot? What is acceptable for an individual's performance? And when does the rope run out for you to judge if somebody's good enough at this level of cricket? And these are serious questions that people have to ask themselves. How long or how far, whichever one's the better phrase to use, do you keep investing in players and say, yeah, you're the future. We're just going to keep giving you a chance. We're just going to keep giving you a chance. We're just going to keep giving you a chance. This is a genuine question. This isn't the blame game. People need to ask themselves these genuine questions. How long do you give someone before you say, maybe they don't have it? Maybe they don't have it at this moment in time. But then on the flip side to that, even if you drop to bag a man, who is there? Who is there? My postulation is that there's no one. My postulation is that there is no one in the region. Think about that. I'm pausing because I'm trying not to be hyperbolic. I'm just trying to state the facts. There's no one in the region. So even when people are saying to me, drop this man, drop that man, there is no one. No one. if you follow our Twitter handle, or if you're one of the people who's migrated to Blue Sky, I've put the same tweet, I think, on both handles, right? After 7 test matches, Machel Louis is averaging 24, 250s. After 9 test matches, Kavem Hodge is averaging 29, 100, 350s. After 11 test matches, Alec Athanasis is averaging 27, 350s. After 4 test matches, Casey Carty is averaging 22. Nothing. No 50s, nothing. Kurt McKenzie, how many test matches did he play? 2 in Australia, 3 in England. I think 1 against India, maybe 2 against India. So 6 or 7 test matches for Kurt McKenzie. He got 150 and he averaged 17. There's no one. There's actually no one. Think about it. Forget if Bangladesh are good or not. You lot need to stop. Move past if Bangladesh are good or not. We're not even. In fact, let me take Sumit's comment off the screen, because that's, to me, that's actually irrelevant. Move past whether they're good or not and think about the bigger picture. There's no one. Manna, look at this comment. Let me bring up this comment. Matt Pryor says, if we're going to drop people, Craig has to be first. Okay, cool. You know what? Cool. Let's go with that. Let's drop Craig first. There's no one. Let me tell you why you lot are still crazy for coming with the Craig Brathwaite argument. Let me show you lot how crazy you are for always coming with the Craig Brathwaite argument. Today, we needed to chase, what was it, 200 and something like 287 to win the test match, right? Be honest with yourself, everyone. Be honest with yourself. Let me answer you a simple question. Everybody's saying drop Craig first. Cool. I'm not even fighting you. Cool, whatever. But let me tell you something this. 286 we had to chase to win. Who before the 286 said to themselves, this depends on Craig? Put your hand up. Don't lie to yourself. Who before the chase started said to themselves, this depends on Craig? I'm not, and Matt's saying I'm going to try and defend Craig. It's nothing to do with defending. You're missing, Matt, move past defending Craig. We could drop Craig. I don't care. I don't care, you know. Drop Craig. But listen to what I'm actually saying. Before the chase started, who said to themselves, boy, this depends on if Craig can back deep. If you're a true West Indies fan, you know that you looked at the chase and said to yourself, boy, our only chance of chasing 286 is if Craig goes deep. And I guarantee you, none of you had faith in anybody else in the top 7 to do anything. None of you. Let me take it a bit further. When Craig got out, every single person knew the game was done. Don't lie to me, people. Don't try and come with revisionism. Let me say it again for those down the sides and out the back. When Craig got out, everyone who's a true West Indies fan knew the game was done there. So drop Craig if you want, you know. Drop Craig if you want. I don't care. But he's the only one who knows how to bat deep. He's the only one who knows how to do it with his test match average of 33. Man are cutting Craig's test match average of 33. Let me tell you lot something. We are, listen carefully. I'm going to whisper this one right into the mic. We will never see another West Indian test batter average more than 33 in our lifetime. Never again. Craig Brathwaite is your generation's Viv Richards. How about that? I'm not saying this for clickbait. That's your generation's Viv Richards. Take it, smoke it, suck on it. How about that? And I've gone quiet because what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say? If the rest of these men played 96 test matches, they would average 7.2. How about that? If the rest of these men played 96 test matches, they would average 7.2. I'm vexed. I'm actually vexed. I'm actually vexed. You know when you're so when you're I'm vexed. I'm low key vexed. I'm low key vexed. But we have to rally. We have to rally. Said same way, We have to rally. We have to rally. Because what else can we do? What else can we do? These men will break me, These men will break me. Maybe it's because it's midnight in the UK. These men have me so broken, I'm recording podcasts at midnight. But I'm still going to rally. I still have to rally for these men, because what else can I do? I still have to support them. I still have to. I still have to. Do you know what? I watched back, if you're in the Discord group, I posted it earlier on. I watched back the Santokie and I did an episode on the Gudakesh multi. I think it was about 13 days ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever, right? And go back and watch it, people, if you think I'm lying. The people who are in the Discord group know this is true, because I put it in the Discord group earlier. From minute 30 to minute 32 of that podcast, the Gudakesh multi one, go back and watch it, people. Go back and watch it, people. I said these exact words. I said, West Indies need to win this, something on the lines of West Indies need to win this series 2-0, and that there are several batters who need to perform against Bangladesh, because low-key people are starting to ask questions of them. And I raised Machel Louis. I raised Alec Athanase. I said that Kavem has enough in the bank to be able to get through to Pakistan, but that loads of them, questions would start to be raised if they didn't cash in against Bangladesh. Now, first things first is people have to ask themselves is, what do they define as cash in? For me, when I said cash in, I meant 2 scores above 50. Can we all be honest, people? We currently have a top 7. Where the average conversion rate to a 50 for each of those players is 1 in every 7 innings. You can't win test matches with that. And do you know what? This isn't even me being negative. You can't win test matches where the average conversion rate from your top 7 for each individual is 1 in every 7 matches to a 50. Right? So Machel scored a 97 in the first test. Alex scored 90 in the first test. That's cool. That's cool. But it can't be, if West Indies plan to win test matches, you can't score your 150 and then say that's my performance for the series done. Like we aren't good enough for a man to be putting in one performance and that's their contribution for the series done. And that's not me coming from Machel and Alec. I'm talking in general. Whoever's in the team, it can't be one performance and that's your contribution done for the series now. But that's where we're currently at. We know that the top 7, we know that they don't have consecutive back-to-back performances in them. And I get it. And Andre Coley and the staff are just going to have to work with them, and we're going to have to keep rallying and so on and so forth. But how do you expect us to win test matches when we know it's a 1 in every 7? Also, if you go back and watch that Gudakesh multi episode again, watch from minute 30 onwards, I then went on to say, I said the only way West Indies can win, this is before the test series started, I said the only way West Indies can win is if our bowling attack blasts Bangladesh away in both test matches. And then I said, If you compare the two batting lineups between Bangladesh and West Indies, Bangladesh have every right to say that their batting lineup is better than ours. And after that, these were the precise words I said. This series might end 1-1. Anybody who's in the Discord in this live right now, please confirm in the chat that that's exactly what I said on the show. Because people think I'm lying. People think that I'm just making this up now in hindsight. Those were the exact words I said 2 weeks ago before the series even started. I said this series might end 1-1 because Bangladesh have a better batting lineup than us. Our batting lineup's too inexperienced and will likely crumble under pressure. That's what I thought would happen. But I'll freely admit that I didn't want that to happen. I wanted to believe that we were still, in our own conditions, better than Bangladesh. I wanted to believe that, 2-0 still likely. We're still better than Bangladesh. And the whole reason why I kept saying that was because if I had to accept, which I now have to, that we're not actually better than Bangladesh in our own conditions, who are we better than? Who are we actually better than? That means as things currently stand, we're only better than Zimbabwe. I'm not even saying Afghanistan, because I think if we went to Afghanistan tomorrow, they'd lick us down. Or if that's wherever that test would play, Pakistan, India, whatever. So are we saying then that we're actually only better than Zimbabwe and Ireland? We're down bad, you know. We're down bad. We're down bad. Craig Brathwaite said after I watched his interview earlier on. I've posted it on the Patreon page. Craig Brathwaite said that we aren't going to get better. Everyone listen carefully. Craig Brathwaite said we aren't going to get better until men start averaging 40. And he's right, of course. But all I kept thinking was, I'm just begging for someone to average 32. Forget 40. I'm begging. I'd drop kick my family for someone in the Caribbean to average 32 in Test cricket. 32. I just want just 32. I'm just asking for 32. I'd even take 31. Just anyone. Someone give me 31. In fact, actually, someone give me 30.5. Someone give me 30.5. I just want two men who can average 30.5 in Test cricket consistently. Just two men. And the thing is, I'm reading the comments. I'll start putting them up. But you lot have got so much energy. Like, I say this respectfully to those of you in the comments. I see the comments that you lot are putting. I'm saying this respectfully, but it's going to sound highly disrespectful. And I make no apologies. If you take it as a disrespect. If you think the answers to West Indies' woes is to drop Craig Brathwaite, you are a dunce. I'm going to repeat it again, but this time with more bass and disrespect in my voice. If you think the answer to West Indies' woes is to drop Craig Brathwaite, you are a certified cricket dunce. I'm pausing so you can let that sink into your mainframe. Certified cricket dunce. That is it. That is it. Drop Craig Brathwaite and then what? You think we'll suddenly improve? Craig in this test match scored, what did he score? I think 39 in the first innings and 43 in the second innings. So his average in what I'm about to say sounds ridiculous. I'm freely admitting that this sounds ridiculous, but I'm also saying this because this is where we're probably at, people. Craig in the first innings scored 39, and in the second innings he scored 43. His average, therefore, in this second test match was 40, basically. I'm taking that. And let me explain to you why I'm taking that. Because if every other man who's supposed to bat in the side averaged 40 across the test match, we would have won the test match. So do you know what? I think I have to stop even looking at 50s. And the thing is, undisputed case, standards are low. 100% the standards are low. But I'm taking that because if everybody else had averaged 40 across their 2 innings in this second test, we might have won the test match. So I don't have time to look at Craig in this test match. I don't have time. At least he managed to average 40 across his 2 innings. Some man, average 3? Like, come on, man. Come on. I can't even look at 50s no more. I can't even look at 50s or hundreds as a metric. I just got to look at a man score in the first and second innings and say, did you average across the 2 innings over your average? And if you did that, I'm taking it. That's where we're at. Listen again. Over the 2 innings of a test match, did they average over their average? And if that's what they do, I'm taking it. Craig's test match average is 33. For this test match, he averaged 40. I'm taking it because that's where we're at. I have to take it. So look at every other man in this test match who averaged above their average. Let's start by looking at that's how we're gonna have to analyze this. Who averaged above their average? And do you know who else? Do you know who else I want to cuss? I want to cuss everybody from ESPN to anybody else who did. You know what I mean? You know, after that first test match, everybody was posting. In fact, I did the video. After the first test match. Again, if you've watched it, you'll know that I'm not chatting shit and what I'm repeating is facts, right? Go back and watch the video I did after the first test match. And I was cussing. I was cussing, saying, stop putting up pictures of our pace attack and evoking images of our GOATs from the 70s and the 80s. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying in the chat. I said, stop putting up pictures of our pace attack and saying this reminds us of the GOATs. What type of... All man are doing that. Man are doing that after one test match win against Bangladesh, who we're supposed to be beating. We're supposed to be beating them, and we're gassing man up. We're gassing man up to make them think that they're the real Don Dada GOATs out here before they just do their job. Stop gassing man up. Stop gassing man up. And the thing is, people take this personally. And I know that like some of the players and stuff watch this and they'll watch it and they'll be like, stink London man, always talking bad about, you know what? Maybe I am stink London CCP man. Maybe I'm all that and a bag of chips. But you know what? Do your job. Do your job. Score runs, take wickets, win matches, and I'd shut up my BC mouth. Do your job, man, and I'll shut my mouth. I'll do your job, and I'll shut down this whole podcast. I'm not even supposed to be doing this podcast. If man just won matches, I could shut down this podcast and live my life, you know. I'm not even trying to be doing this podcast. I'm not even trying to be doing it like that. But man don't win matches, cuz. Man don't win no matches, cuz. And I have to come on this thing at midnight, asking myself why man don't win matches, cuz. Just do your job, cuz. Do your job. Please, I beg. Please, I beg. Just do your job. Just a one job. You know, this year, I went to every single test match in England live. I took 3 L's. I took 3 L's in a row. I flew to Trinidad for the first test, Queen's Park Oval. I caught a draw. I'm down so bad, I treated that draw like I'd seen a W. I went to Antigua to see some white ball cricket. I saw my first W of the year. But you know what? You know what? Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Here's the positive. There is a positive in all this. Do you know what? Vincent says drink some water. It's true, you know, Vincent. My eyes are stinging. It's 1:45 in the morning. I've got to get up. Do you know what? I've got to get up for work. I've got to get up for work in 5 hours, and I'm out here recording stuff about West Indies cricket. Might all call in sick to work. These man got me out here doing the most. Here's the positive, though. Here's a real positive. If before the start of this year in Test cricket, you had said that West Indies, you might get a piece of pen and paper, people. If you'd said before the start of the year that West Indies would draw 1-1, we're talking about Test series results here. If you'd said that West Indies would draw 1-1 away in Australia, lose 3-0 away in England, lose 1-0 at home to South Africa, and draw 1-1 at home to Bangladesh, I think you'd take it, you know. So here, after everything I've said, here's the real positives. I think you'd take it. And let me tell you why you'd take it. Because all those results put together equals 2 wins. Before this year started, Test match cricket, everyone knew we had Australia away in 2 tests, England away in 3 tests, South Africa at home in 2, Bangladesh at home in 2. I think before the year started, everyone would have expected us to lose 2-0 in Australia, lose 3-0 in England, probably lose 2-0 at home to South Africa, and beat Bangladesh 2-0. So, in a weird way, we've ended the year actually getting the amount of W's that the average person probably expected. Not in the way we expected, but with the W's that you expected. 2 W's was the most I expected this year, realistically, and we got the 2 W's. Even avoiding a 2-0 defeat at home to South Africa was better than I expected, because we've never beaten South Africa. So losing only 1-0, even that was better than I expected. That's why I celebrated that draw in the Queen's Park Oval when I flew out to Trinidad to go and watch it. I was like, yeah, we got a draw against South Africa. That was a better result than I expected. So when you really add it up, we've actually ended the year probably on par with where we are at. In isolation, the Bangladesh stuff looks real down bad, but we've probably ended it on par with how the year should have ended. In January, we go to Pakistan. Now, everyone will say, but Mash, Bangladesh beat Pakistan in Pakistan. Pakistan were in all manners of disarray when Bangladesh beat them. That's not to downplay Bangladesh. Like, Bangladesh played very well to beat Pakistan. And to be fair, Bangladesh, as I said at the top of the show, they completely dominated us in this test match, right? But let me tell you something. we ain't going to beat Pakistan. We ain't beating them. And do you know why we ain't going to beat Pakistan? The reason we ain't going to beat Pakistan is because Pakistan learnt their lesson. By the time England turned up to play Pakistan, Pakistan remembered and realised, why don't we just put spin paradise down and England won't know what to do? If you're Pakistan and you got West Indies coming and you want to carry on the momentum from your win against England, of course you're going to... Listen, I'm almost expecting us to get bowled out for under 100 versus Pakistan. If Pakistan prepare wickets to help their spinners against us, we ain't making 100. We ain't making 100 runs. If they lay on the same type of wickets that they used to defeat England, we ain't making 100. Unless West Indies plan for us to be in Pakistan from tomorrow, and we're just doing a camp from tomorrow all the way through to when the test matches start in January, we ain't going to make more than 100. If we make 150, we've probably done well. So all these men in the chat right now saying, drop this man, drop that man. Go on then. I don't care. Drop them then. Go on then. So based on all the comments that I've been reading, drop who you saying? So you're saying drop Craig, drop Josh. Cool. Drop them then. Take whatever team you want to take to Pakistan and let's see how they do. So I'm going to go along with what everyone's saying in the comments. Drop Craig, drop Josh, and take whatever team it is that you, man, want to take to Pakistan. And then let's talk again after the Pakistan series. But listen, because I need to wrap up the show. Right, okay. You know what? Let me just address this. Because in fairness, let me not try and ignore it, because people say, oh, Mash, you were just ignoring it. You weren't looking at people's comments. So Z says, what has Brathwaite showed you? You keep defending these mediocre players. Okay, fine. Okay. Do you know what? Fine. Okay, Brathwaite shit. Craig Brathwaite is shit. Cool. Craig Brathwaite is shit. Z and everybody else, just tell me who you're picking instead of him, please. So two things. Let me just address it. My voice is getting tired, but let me just address it. Drop him. Cool. Craig Brathwaite shit. Okay, cool. Drop him. Drop his captaincy. Just put in the comments now, who are you picking instead of Craig Brathwaite, and who is going to captain the side instead of Craig Brathwaite? Just answer those two questions for me. Everybody saying drop Craig. Just answer those two questions for me. Who are you picking instead of him, and who is captaining the side instead of him? Please just put in the comments. I'm not bothered. Like, I'm not defending it. Just tell me, just so I can understand where you're coming from. Just tell me the alternative, please. Who are you picking instead of him, and who is going to captain the side? Right. So Pixel Dom says Cheyenne Brathwaite is going to replace Craig Brathwaite. Okay, cool answer, bro. Cloud Snaggy says Holder. What, to open or to captain? So Royston says Roach will captain the side. Cool, fine. I'll accept that. So that's your captain. So Roach becomes your captain. C says replace Craig Brathwaite with Kieran Powell. Okay. Come on then. Who else, people? So far we've got as far as Roach should captain the side. So who's replacing Craig Brathwaite? The only answer I've been given so far is Kieran Powell. Anyone else, people? Who else to replace Craig Brathwaite? Matt Pryor says Imlak becomes the captain. Okay, so Imlak, who's never played a test match, should now come into the West Indies test team and captain the side. Cool. Pixel Dom says Shamar Springer should get in the test side. Okay, cool. I'm going to... Do you know what? If you lot don't start saying sensible stuff, I'm going to fling this laptop out the window. Because I'm saying it, and I'm trying to, like, indulge what you lot are saying, but I'm about to pick up this laptop and just fling it against the wall and shut down this whole podcast. I'm waiting for one sensible answer. Someone tell me something. So who replacing Craig with them, please? You lot saying drop him, but no one's giving me any answers. John Ross says replace Craig Brathwaite with Amir Django. What to open? I'm about to flipping. Rickon says Jeremy Solorzano to replace Craig Brathwaite. You know what? Let me go to my bed, yeah, because let me go to my bed. Well played, Bangladesh. Well played, Bangladesh. Because people watch this and say, "Oh, you didn't give any credit to Bangladesh." You know what? Well played to Bangladesh. Taskin Ahmed. I'm going to just shout out a couple of them Bangladesh man. I thought Taskin Ahmed was really good with the ball. I'm talking about the pacers here. I thought the young Ute Rana, who took the 5 in the first innings, I thought he was really good with the ball. Obviously, Taijul Islam, as soon as he came in with his left arm spin, I was like, yeah, well, he's going to bowl us down. That was just expected. That wasn't anything special. This is West Indies we're talking about. Jakir Ali with the 91 in the second innings. I thought he showed gumption. I think I saw one of our, Roshan, who does the Bangladesh cricket podcast. I think he said something about third consecutive test match 50 or something in a test match or something like that. I don't know, but Jakir Ali looked good. And the thing is, Bangladesh's batting lineup looked equally their top order looked fragile, but their middle order, so Mehedi, Jakir Ali, Litton didn't really have a top time of it. Shadman had that one good innings, but their middle order looked like it just had a bit more guts about it than ours. Because once our players had done their one performance for the test series, you knew that our middle order was pretty much done. And the thing is, the last thing I'll just say is I don't have any answers, people. I don't have any answers because I don't know how these players get better. In fact, I do have one answer. Osprey said it in the Discord group. These players need to play some A-team cricket. Osprey said in the Discord group, and I didn't have time to reply to him because I was busy, but I thought he made a really good point. Osprey said that the second test match felt like a West Indies A-team performance. And I get it. I totally get where he was coming from. It felt like a lot of the young, inexperienced youths, or the inexperienced youths, because they're not even young per se, it felt like we're taking you, man, on an A-team tour against a better team so you can learn to play, except they're learning to play in a test match at the highest level, looking like they need some A-team cricket. So actually, when I'm saying I don't know what the answers are, I do know what the answers are. These men need to go play some A-team cricket because several of them don't look like they're actually ready for the top level consistently. They might be ready one day, but on a consistent basis, they don't look like they're really ready for this yet because they're giving us a 1 in 5, 1 in 6 performance and not realizing that that's not good enough. That's not going to cut it at the international level. Couple man are on thin ice, you know. Couple man are on thin ice. I actually think Tevin Imlak should get a game in Pakistan. Not necessarily. That doesn't mean he necessarily replaces Josh De Silva. It might mean that he just comes into the middle order. Couple man are under threat. Couple man, their position's looking shaky. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, some A-team cricket. To answer the question, sorry, some A-team cricket would be handy for a couple of these guys. I had something else I wanted to say that I thought would be an answer. Oh yeah, the other thing that fixes this, if I'm being realistic with you lot. So you know how Cricket West Indies announced earlier this week that 7 of the most promising youth men batters had gone out to India is it part of the Chennai Super Kings camp with Ramesh Subasinghe, the academy head coach, right? They've all gone out, they've all flown out. So it's like Kevlin Anderson. I'm trying to remember the names, but I think it's Akeem or Geese, Jewel Andrew. I want to say Kevlin Anderson's gone out there. I think Kevin Wickham's gone out there. Teddy Bishop must have gone out there. That's 5. I'm trying to remember who the other 2 might be. So when people are saying to me, what's the answer? Really and truly, if you want my genuine answer, and this isn't meant as a disrespect, oh, Kurt McKenzie's gone out there as well. It'll sound like a disrespect, but I genuinely mean what I'm about to say. I think we just have to forget this current lot. Like, so the current lot who are playing, like, I think we just have to forget them in the sense of they're only going to be what they can be. And we're going to see far more L's than W's. And we just have to hope that with more exposure to cricket at the highest level, that maybe one of them averages 30.5 and becomes one of our senior players in the future. And then you see all these next men who have gone to like Chennai Super Kings with Ramesh to develop their skill set in India. We just have to basically look at these next men who are all like 22, 23, 24, in Jules' case, 18, 17 years old, and essentially have a succession plan for them, man, get them in far more A-team cricket and slowly start to bring them through one by one, when hopefully they've got so much things like this camp in Chennai, hopefully some A-team cricket tours, and then they start to slowly be blooded in. So someone like a Kevin Wickham, he's 24 now, 24 I think at the moment. 18 months from now is when you start to blood a Kevin Wickham in, and you say, you know what, we've been slowly developing you, we've been taking you to camps, we took you on an A-team tour, you're now ready, or to the best of what you can be in the West Indies system, to come into the test side. That's the only solutions that I've got. But it means that we all have to accept that this lot right now, we can't expect anything too tough from them. And actually, in a weird sense, this 1-1 draw with Bangladesh, I'm going full circle. It feels disappointing, but maybe we should actually be glad we won a test match. Sorry, Wickham's 21. Sorry, I overstated his age. So maybe we should be glad that we won a test match and just see that as a building block. As ridiculous as that might sound, maybe we have to look at drawing 1-1 with Bangladesh and go, boy, it's a building block. We're building. They're inconsistent. They suck mostly, but we're building. It's all part of a process. We're building. A couple of these men will have to drop to the wayside, but we're building whilst we slowly build up the next man generation and we try and develop them properly in the background. But what I would also say, and this is my final thing, then I have to go to bed because I've just seen it's coming up to 1 o'clock. I personally do not believe that West Indies should play any test match series against any country in the world without playing an A-team tour immediately before it. We just don't have the players to be going into series without real strong competitive cricket before it. We need more competitive cricket. And that competitive cricket is not going to come from only playing in the region. Because if we keep relying on only playing in the region, we'll see the same results over and over and over again. The quality is simply not there. We just saw Super 50. Rakeem Cornwall just bowled down the whole region and ended up top wicket taker. And everybody wants to say, well, he can't move, he's too slow. Well, he just bowled down the whole region, though. So what's that say about the quality of our region? Do you see what I mean? We've had a professional first-class system since 2014 when Richard Pybus and the criminal Dave Cameron made that plan. That's why, for those of you who don't know your history, this is the whole reason why Bravo and Co went on strike in India and refused to play. Remember, they revamped the professional game in the Caribbean and said, we need to pay all of our cricketers a professional wage. We need to professionalize our domestic cricket system. Cricket needs to become people's jobs. They need to get a wage that allows them to be professional cricketers. Do you lot want to know something? That professional cricket league in the Caribbean, what is now called the West Indies First Class Championship or West Indies Championship, has existed for 10 years, from 2014. In that time, people, 10 years, we haven't produced one batter that has averaged over 40 from our domestic system. Listen again to what I'm saying. In the 10 years since we professionalized our domestic game and paid players to be professional cricketers, gave them a wage that allowed them to live as professional cricketers for their different franchises. And we franchised the system, created the Leeward Island Hurricanes, created the Windward Island Volcanoes, made every territory a professional system. We haven't produced not one man who can bat. Not one. 10 years, we haven't produced anybody. So when people say to me, oh, Caribbean Cricket Podcast, stink London men, they da-da-da-da-da. This is a part of the show when we are talking the real hot sense. This is why I say we're better than everybody else who tries to do this thing. Someone go find me the evidence and refute what I'm saying. We haven't produced a top-class batter out of our regional system in the 10 years we professionalized this thing. Do you know how shit that is? And then man are wondering why we're getting bowled down for 144 over and over again. South Africa bowled us down for sub 200. Bangladesh bowling us down for sub 200. England bowling us down for sub 200. Man are averaging 25, and we're just having to accept it. and then people have got more energy to cuss the one man who's averaging over 30. Everyone's got more energy to cuss the one man we've got who's averaging over 30, saying he ain't good enough. And the thing is, he might not be good enough, but he's the only man in Test cricket who's averaging over 30. The only man. And the thing about Craig is, Craig predates the professional cricket system. Craig debuted in 20... Craig was around before the professionalization of cricket in our region. So what does that say? The one man who averages over 30 didn't even come from the professional system. We've had 10 years and we can't find one next man. I just want someone to average 30.5. 30.5. Just give me that. Give me that and I'll take it. Give me that and I'll take it. Listen, ladies and gents, this went much longer than I wanted it to. It's quite a lot to take in on that episode. It started off despondent. Do you know what? Actually, I just saw that comment from Paul Weston. Do you know what, Paul? There's some serious questions to be asked about this. It's not that they're getting paid for nothing, Paul. I wouldn't say that they're getting paid for nothing, but the indictment of our professional system is that men are getting a professional wage to not improve. So yeah, maybe you could say that's getting paid for nothing, but they're getting a professional franchise wage to basically not improve. Well done, Dave Cameron, and what's his name again? What was his name? Richard Pipers. Well done, guys. Well done. That was a real good one you've done for us there. Real good one. Anyways, people, I'm Machel St. Patrick here at one half the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. I've got to get up for work in about 5 hours. Oh, gotta go, people. I'm tired out here. Listen, Santokie and I are going to do a proper test match series review. We're doing it on Thursday, where we'll properly look at the test match and properly analyze what goes next, player ratings, etc. But then we go straight into the ODI series. Can I remind people as well, by the way, we actually need to win that ODI series. If we're planning to try and avoid the World Cup qualifiers, we actually need to win ODI series. If you think we're down bad now, having drawn 1-1 with Bangladesh, imagine if Bangladesh beat us in the ODI series, because technically, not even technically, they're a better ODI side than us on paper. But let's see how that goes, people. People, I'm out of here. I've got to go to my bed. Thank you all for everyone who was in the comments. Catch you all very, very soon. Content coming later this week. Like, share, and subscribe on your way out. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. I'll be Machel St. Patrick here. One half of the Caribbean. I just saw the last comment. One half of the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. See you all very, very soon.
West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast. West Indies Cricket.